Your next trip to Las Vegas could cost you hundreds more than you planned. Here's why. Imagine standing before Caesar's palace in its golden age. The grand fountains roar. The marble columns gleam in the air, an electric promise of pure luxury. This wasn't just a casino. It was a cultural icon where Frank Sinatra held court and legends were born. It was the very embodiment of the Vegas dream. Now stand in that exact same spot today. The statues are still there, but the energy is gone. It's been replaced by a cold, hollow feeling. The service is a shadow of what it once was. The entire experience feels cheap. How did a $17.3 billion empire collapse into a tourist trap designed to squeeze every last dollar from you? And more importantly, why is this story a national warning sign? It reveals a corporate strategy that could be coming for your favorite brands next. The answer is a ruthless business model that puts a mountain of debt before its own customers. We are about to reveal the hidden truth behind the fall of Caesars. To understand how the palace began to crumble, we have to go back to July 20th, 2020. To the world, it was a massive merger. But to longtime employees, it was an invasion. One table games manager shared his story. We were Caesars. We were the gold standard. Then one day, a much smaller company, El Dorado Resorts, bought us. It felt like the world champions being bought by a minor league team. Instantly, the mood changed. Every meeting became about cuts and efficiency. On paper, the deal was worth $17.3 billion, but the real price was much higher. To make the purchase, El Dorado took on a crushing amount of debt. It was a financial monster worth around $8.8 billion, and it was Caesar's own debt. The small fish had swallowed the whale, and it came with a desperate hunger for cash. This created a crushing financial burden. Here's how the trap was set. First, the mountain of debt. As of late 2025, Caesar's total debt sits at a staggering $11.9 billion. This is a financial black hole. It costs the company between $500 and $600 million every single year, just in interest payments. That's money that isn't being spent on your experience. But debt was only part of the trap. The second part was a trick most tourists never see: the sale and leaseback. The manager continued. They started selling our crown jewels, the building, the land. They sold it to a company called VC Properties, then signed a lease to rent our own workplace back. Imagine selling your house just to pay rent on your own bedroom. We didn't own our kingdom anymore. We were just tenants. This one move, selling a property like Harrah's Las Vegas for $1.14 billion, only to pay $87.4 million a year in rent, locked Caesars into massive payments. This 1-2 punch of massive debt and heavy rent created a desperate need for cash. Under the new CEO, Tom Reeg, the mission was clear: get the debt down, no matter what. A front desk clerk with 15 years of experience put it simply. The new motto was, do more with less. But what that really meant was, make customers pay more for less. The old promise of value was replaced by the cold logic of a spreadsheet. And if you think this is just a business story, wait until you see the 4 ways they started making you pay the price. This is where the corporate strategy hits your wallet. That financial pressure is being paid off, one fee at a time, by every person who walks through the door. First, reason number 4, the resort fee racket. Think of a young couple from Ohio on their first big vacation. They saved for months, but at checkout they face a surprise bill for nearly $300. This is the resort fee. At Caesar's Palace, it's about $50 to $62 per night. For a 5-night stay, that's your $300 surprise. And if you're planning a 5-night trip, this is your bill too. They say it's for Wi-Fi and pool access, things that used to be free. But you're not paying for better Wi-Fi, you're paying off their debt. Next, reason number 3, the war on cars. A tourist from Canada remembers the old Vegas. "I remember when free parking felt like the first handshake," he said. "Now that handshake cost me $25 before I even get inside." For decades, free parking was a classic Vegas perk. Now it's just another way to make money. For hotel guests, self-parking can cost $20 a day. If you're just visiting, it's $25. This isn't just about finding a parking spot. It's another revenue stream to feed the machine. While there are some exceptions for locals and high-tier rewards members, the message is clear: the free ride is over. Then there's reason number 2, the deliberate service cuts. A housekeeper with over 15 years of experience tells the real story. "My daily room quota went from 12 rooms to over 15, she shared. "We used to take pride in our work. Now, it's a race against the clock. We see stains we don't have time to deal with." Daily housekeeping is now optional across Las Vegas. You get a light refresh, but a full cleaning is by request only. At the same time, check-in lines can stretch for hours. You're pushed towards a kiosk instead of a person. It's all designed to cut labor costs. They save money on staff. You lose the experience you paid for. And finally, the biggest insult of all. Reason number 1, the squeeze in the room. A longtime business traveler was shocked by a new charge. He simply used the mini fridge for his own water bottle. The hotel hit him with a $60 fee, triggered automatically. "It felt less like a hotel," he said, "and more like an airline." When a company is this deep in debt, maintenance becomes a luxury. That's why review sites are filled with complaints. Tired rooms, scuffed furniture, and broken air conditioners. They aren't fixing the rooms, but they are finding new ways to charge you in them. Your comfort is less important than their bottom line. A balance sheet doesn't show broken trust. It's a feeling shared by loyal guests and the employees who built the brand. Look at it from a visitor's perspective. David, a retired teacher, celebrated his anniversary at Caesars for 2 decades. "It used to feel like coming home," he said. "They knew us. Now I'm just a number in a 45-minute line, being pushed to a kiosk. The magic is gone. It's just a transaction." His story isn't unique. Review sites are flooded with similar complaints. Visitors call Caesars Palace hollow. They see overwhelmed staff and hate the shift from people to kiosks. And the public is voting with their feet. Occupancy at Caesars Las Vegas hotels dropped to 92% in the third quarter of 2025, down from 97% the year before. This happened as citywide visitor numbers fell by as much as 11% or 12% over the summer. Now look at it from the employee's side. The cost cutting has been devastating. While no mass layoffs were announced in 2025, staff report a silent purge through reduced hours. Talk to a bartender on the casino floor. He'll tell you tips are down 20–30%. There are fewer guests, and the staff is exhausted. "We're running on skeleton crews," he said. "We're supposed to give that classic Vegas experience, but we can't even get to our customers in time. They're frustrated. We're exhausted. It feels like the soul has been ripped out of this place." Even management admits the problem. On the Q3 earnings call, CEO Sales revenue is down. The company reported a net loss of $55 million. The word is getting out. The city's most loyal fans are going home and telling friends. It's not worth it anymore. The Caesars story isn't an isolated incident. It has become the blueprint, the master plan for the new Las Vegas. Cut staff, add fees, squeeze every dollar from every customer. This ruthless model is being copied all across the Strip, and what's happening at Caesars is a warning for the entire city. The 2025 tourism slowdown is the clearest signal yet that this model is not sustainable. The old promise of Las Vegas was value. You might lose at the tables, but you got a world-class experience in return. That promise is broken. Think of a middle-class family from the Midwest planning a 3-night trip. They add up the hotel rate, the nearly $200 in resort fees, the $25 a day for parking, and the inflated cost of food. Suddenly, the trip costs $1,000 more than they budgeted. They look at each other and make a simple choice. Let's just go somewhere else. That's happening thousands of times a day. This creates a dangerous feedback loop. Here's what that means. As service gets worse and prices go up, regular tourists stay away. When the hotels see revenue fall, they panic. The corporate response is to cut costs even more and invent new fees to make up the difference. That, in turn, drives even more people away. It's a downward spiral. This new playbook misunderstands Las Vegas entirely. Vegas was never just about gambling. It was about spectacle and accessible luxury. It was the one place where anyone could feel like a high roller for a weekend. But that identity is vanishing. Cities face economic crisis. It used to say, come one, come all. Anyone can afford a taste of luxury. Now, the message is different. If you're not rich, stay out of the way. The new model focuses only on the highest spenders. Clubs want $10,000 bottle service. Casinos cater exclusively to the whales. So what does this mean for you over the next few years? If you come back to Vegas next year, you'll most likely see even higher resort fees and fewer free perks. Expect longer lines at check-in as hotels push you toward kiosks to save on staff. Your room might look a little more worn out because deep cleaning and maintenance are now costs to be avoided, not standards to be met. The gap between the VIP gambler and the average tourist will feel wider than ever. This leaves the city and its visitors at a crossroads. Will Las Vegas leaders realize this model is killing the magic of the city? Or will they double down and accept becoming a playground only for the wealthy? And more importantly, is that a business model you still want to support with your money? So where does this leave us? We've seen how crippling debt led to a war against the customer. A war that started with resort fees, escalated to service cuts, and shattered trust. The great empire of Caesars, an icon of American fun, now feels empty. They are managing their finances, but at the devastating cost of their reputation. The question now is, will the real Las Vegas ever come back? Will leaders realize that the only long-term asset that matters is the customer experience? Or is this hostile, expensive, and impersonal environment the new reality? But this story isn't over. It's being written every day by people like you. Share your stories in the comments below. Have you been hit with strange fees? Have you noticed the decline in service, or do you think it's all overblown? Your experience is the most important part of this story. Let's talk about what the future of Las Vegas should be.